Hey folks, how's everybody doing? So I do episodes on everybody else, how they hot rod. I mean, heck, it's the name of the show, right? And kind of find out what everybody does, how they do it in their own way. But you know what? Why don't I do one on what I've got laying around? All right, so on this episode of How Do You Hot Rod, on this episode of How Do I Hot Rod, I'll show you what I got sitting around for projects. And you never know, could be some fun stuff. Okay, actually, it's all fun stuff. I just actually need to get it done. All right, so what projects do I have going on? Right behind me is a 1940 Buick Super. It's actually completely original, well, stock. Still the original 248 straight 8 engine. So I got to do some work on this, doing a carburetor rebuild, putting new freeze plugs in, cleaning out the block a little bit out of the water jackets. Got to put some new hoses on there, get the fan put back on. But it actually cranks. It will run. So I got to do a little work, get it roadworthy. I went through the brakes. I had to replace both front brake hoses because they were shot. I mean, they were leaking. 83 years old, rubber, breaks down. So anyway, interior. Yeah, not the greatest, but hey, guess what? It's stock. It's original. It's got a little bit of wear, but whatever. Right there. Still all stock. Kind of smells that way too. And listen to these doors. That's it. The door just shut on its own. Just let it fall in. No wiggle, no nothing. This back door, same thing. Beautiful, nice interior. Even has the armrest right there that drops down. Smells like old car. That's it. That's the door. It shuts. Somebody went and put 15-inch wheels on it though. I like the way they look. It sits a little funny right now because I got the front end up in the air, so it sits higher than it should. Originally, they had 16-inch wheels. Right now, just the 15s. So basically, it's just getting it back on the road, cleaning it up, having a little fun with it this summer. Come July, there's the Buick Nationals here in Spokane, so it's fairly local. I mean, I'm about a half hour away from there. Plan is to get it running and driving, take it there, have some fun, and I'm gonna throw a for sale sign in it. Get a little money back on it. It's fun. I'd love to keep it, but I can't keep all the Buicks. But I can save them. Keep on the road. Moving on. All right, next project. The one I've had around for the next longest. 1950 Plymouth Special Deluxe, where its name comes from is SD. Special Deluxe, Sophia D. right there. She's completely stock. Still got the straight 6 flathead in there. I did do, check this out, that's a lace paint job. That is not a vinyl, folks. That right there was me, a buddy, a $4 tablecloth from Goodwill, a couple rattle cans, I think a case of beers if I remember right, or some alcohol, I can't remember. But did that. The scallops, I did the first time I owned this car. I've actually owned it twice. The first time I sold it, I went, God, man, I shouldn't have done that. Tracked her down about 2 years later, found her, bought her back, and I've had a bunch of issues I've had to go through. Never got everything completely fixed and dialed back in. So that's where this is, that's what's going on with this one. The top, I did paint the top a little darker. The interior, seat covers came with the car when I got it. But she was actually my daily driver for for quite a while. At the time, I had some stock bias ply white walls on it, and this car drove from Spokane to Libby, Montana, to Sandpoint and back for just a drive. I just wanted to get out of town and go. But she's actually one of those family members that just is never going to go away. So once I get her done and get her back on the road, I have a little fun. This will be a cruiser. I am not going to modify the engine, transmission, nothing. It's still a stock 3 on the tree and the 6-volt system on there. I do want to lower it a little bit. I've got some lowering blocks for the rear end. I might put a visor on it. I have a visor, a Fulton, original Fulton visor to put on. Be kind of fun. I like it. Just keep it stock and have some fun. All right, let's go outside and check out a couple more. All right, now bear with me. It's really bright out here. I didn't put my sunglasses on. This right here, oh man, you guys are gonna laugh, but it's kind of fun. So, this is a 1987 Honda Accord hatchback. It's the Lxi, so it's fuel injected, it has a 5-speed. And the idea behind this car was to basically recreate a car I had right after high school, about 20 years ago actually, to be honest. And well, as you see, it's got the tuner spoiler. The wheels, I've got some other ones to put on it. These are only 16s. I've got 17s to recreate my old car, same ones from back in the day. Just got new tires put on, but I gotta get the suspension done so I can lower it, and then I'll put those new wheels and tires on. But the idea behind it is to create a retro tuner. As you see on the back, it is Project Retro Tuner. That's the name of the car. I mean, come on, everything going into this car is old school. Well, relatively speaking, the younger generation, old school. To the old guys that are out there, you know, old school kind of means, you know, 50s, 60s. I'm 40. This thing's what I had right after high school, and I'm going to try and make another one of these. So anyway, back to it. I got the exhaust done to match something I had way back in the day. The subwoofers that are in the back are Rockford Fosgate old school punches. A couple 12s. Hang on here. Open the car up. Check this out. Go back here. Now, I'm not going for perfect. I'm going for fun. For something to take to car shows and enjoy. So right there, got the Rockford Fosgates. There is a Rockford Fosgate amp behind the seat there, between those and the subs. Do not have it all wired up yet, but it's sitting in there. The license plate, check this out. I even have, believe it or not, collector plates on a Honda. See, 1989, Centennial Celebration. This would have been a correct plate for back in the day. When I got the car, it had it on it. Come to find out, I can keep it on there. So, the radio, the head unit in there, is actually going to be a Blaupunk. I had the exact same one back 20 years ago, and I'm putting it back in there. So, inside I have some lowering springs, some new old stock, new speed, made by Eibach. Those are going to go on, should come down about 2 inches. I put adjustable front control arms on, upper arms. The rear, I'm going to do the same. In a couple weeks, I'll get those put on, lower it, have some fun. The engine's completely stock. It needs some work, but eventually things will get changed. Long-term plan, paint and body work, clean it up. It's going to get a fade silver paint job. Light silver on top, dark silver to the bottom. The wheels are ADR Cypher gunmetal grays. Those will go on. I'm thinking Lambo doors. I really think Lambo doors would work on this. The hood, well, you know, it's stock. I just don't know about that. The idea, 2 ideas. I mean, I can either go reverse prelude hinges, so it opens, you know, forward like this instead of a normal car where it opens to the back, or I'll go show car with it and I'll cut the hood with a Z-cut and have it clamshell up each side. Something different, something fun. All right, so that's Retro Tuner, Project Retro Tuner right there. Oh yeah, almost forgot. The coolest thing I've already got on it, green neon street glow tubes underneath the body already. I have a few more neons inside already, a few more to add to that. And they're all hooked up through an audio interface module. So like when the bass goes off, the lights flash. It's kind of fun. All right, let's go check out another ride. All right, now for the car I've had the longest. This right here is a 1951 Buick Roadmaster Riviera. Now, I've had this car for over 11 years. I've never driven it. It is not stock. It's not running and driving. It's not put together. It's not finished. I have a 1974 Riviera engine, transmission, rear end, and front frame all underneath this. Basically from the firewall forward, it's 1974 Riviera. And on the rear end, 74 Riviera. Buick kept a coil spring on the rear end all the way through there So it's actually pretty simple to put that rear end underneath it. Never finished it up. What color is it gonna be? I don't know. But this is Betty. Betty is gonna be a little lower. I'm thinking airbags, maybe completely, you know, lowered with lowering blocks where she sits low. She will be my lead sled. We'll get around to that eventually. All right, so what can be absolutely stupid fun? What can be absolutely cheap to build and race and really not take up a whole lot of space? Oh yeah, I'm talking about a racing lawnmower. Yes, yes, yes. Lawnmowers, racing, it's stupid, it's cheap. I think I'm into this for about $100. So this is called the Tecumseh Terror. I stumbled into this with Brand 5 Garage. We were trying to find something to build that would be kind of fun, kind of cheap, wouldn't take up a whole lot of room because we both have projects, and yet we could put on our YouTube channels and enjoy and just have some stupid redneck kind of fun. Well, here we are. I had a free lawnmower sitting around, and this is what I turned out doing. So I had a Rubbermaid tote laying around with a busted lid. I cut the top into two pieces, used some plumber's tape there, and actually functions really well as a freaking mud flap. Back here, it's been sitting outside, so ignore the water and stuff. I took the battery, put the battery in the back, lower to the back, better center of gravity. I dropped the sheet metal down about 3 or 4 inches to give, you know, a little better cornering ability. Like that's actually a thing with a racing lawnmower with what I'm doing. Not a professional. Definitely had to get the shifter knob put on there, the piston, yeah. Gotta have a beer beverage holder, and had to come up with a name. Turned out it's got a Tecumseh engine right here, right there, Tecumseh. So why not call it the Tecumseh Terror? I dropped the front sheet metal, front nose down a little bit, pulled the deck off, did a pulley swap or two on it. It's just stupid fun. 87 Honda Accord, 1951 Buick, 1950 Plymouth, 1940 Buick, 1988 Pontiac Le Mans. So that's how I hot rod. I take stupid stuff and have fun with it. I love being different. As you see, I don't have a Chevy or a Ford sitting around to, you know, to take my money, but I want something different, and I want to show up and be the only one there. So anyway, did a real quick episode. This is how I hot rod.